The following is a Thorpe TV production brought to you in cooperation with Jack Thorfinson. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for the SOCS Show, brought to you live from Mr. Holster's ranch, way up north near the Canadian border. Let's have a big round of applause for that warm YouTube personality, Mr. Holster! Oh my God, Jack. Warm YouTube personality. That cool, Chris? Oh, he's a... howdy, Bart. Yeah, it's me. Mr. Holster. What do we got tonight, Jack? We've got Knob Creek Rye, 100 proof, small batch, patiently aged. Well, thank you, Jack. That's very nice of you. I'll enjoy that. And we've got the Bandit and the Snowman. Oh, yeah. And the Snowman's dog. Yeah, there we go. The Bandit and the Snowman. A little reflection there from the light. And that, of course, is Burt Reynolds and Jerry Reed. Jerry Reed. There's no S on the end of there, is there, Jack? I don't know. Yeah, of course, one of the greatest guitar players ever, by the way. Yeah, absolutely love him. That's what the show's about tonight, guys. We're celebrating Burt Reynolds' birthday. Burt, yeah! Happy birthday, Burt! I know it was a couple days ago, but happy birthday, Burt! You're one of my favorites and Jack's favorites. Jack just loves Burt Reynolds, and of course, you probably already realize it. Jack has a real profound resemblance to Burt. People come up to him on the street all the time and say, "Excuse me, Mr. Reynolds," and he has to tell them, "No, I'm not Burt Reynolds." And they go, "Wow, you really look like a young Burt Reynolds." And he does, yeah, right? Yes, he does. Jack's a little tired tonight. He was out at the VFW last night, took the truck and went down there, and he brought the truck back. I think he's learned his lesson. Right? Yeah, I think so. So I'm very happy with that. And, of course, Mr. Holster, well, we'll talk about that after. Let's slow down and do the stuff we normally do. That I'm getting off track. I'm so excited about Burt's birthday. Knob Creek Rye. I really like this. It's straight rye whiskey, small batch, and, of course, a rye whiskey. Straight rye whiskey means it's aged at least 2 years. And it has to tell you how old it is if it is under 4 years of age, if I remember correctly. And we got nothing on here, so this is aged at least 4 years, right? So, they put writing over writing. It's really hard to see. That's okay. Let's pop the top on this one, as Machine Gun Kelly would say. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a synthetic cork, but but it do smell good. There you go. Don't get too excited. Don't lick your screen if you got one of those laptops. It's not good for it. There we go. Okay. Let's pour a little in the old shot glass and get the show going. West Texas does. All things in moderation, especially when it's 100 proof. Yeah, I think so. I think that's, probably a good idea. Normally, I toast to the sunny slopes of long ago, but tonight, in celebration of Burt's birthday, I'm going to toast Burt Reynolds. Rich, you ready, Rich? Rich, we'll go out and get a beer. We're going to wait. Have Revolver grab you one. I know last time you threw it in the back of your head. Maybe that's not a good idea. You better go get it. You got it? Okay. Rich is ready. Those guys down in Kentucky, To the sunny slopes of long ago. Whoa, wait. Mr. Holzer's getting excited. To Burt Reynolds. Happy birthday, Burt. I know it's a couple days late, but happy birthday, Burt. Now, if that doesn't heat you up and cool you down all at the same time. Mm-mm-mm. We may have another one of those before the night's out. All things in moderation, though. Better save some for another show, right, Jack? Let's put the top back on that thing. Woo-hoo. We don't want it to evaporate. No. It's been a very trying week this week. Temperature's gone up and down, freezing, thawing, freezing, thawing, freezing, thawing. It's like a giant ice skate out there most of the week. I had 2 horses go down. One got a little injured, hit her front of her face, and she was bleeding pretty bad, but her teeth were all good, so she'll be all right. She'll heal up, but it's been a trying week. Today, however, it was above 50, above 50 degrees in February, this close to the Canadian border, absolutely unheard of. This is the strangest winter I've ever lived through in my short life, which to most of you people is probably way too long already. I'm a little tired. Today, though. I didn't get a very good night's sleep last night. The next door neighbor kept screaming and yelling all night long, kept me up, just kept yelling over and over, "Get out of my driveway, go sleep in your own." And when I got up this morning, I felt a little, I got these back problems, felt a little funny, looked in the mirror, and I decided I didn't look good at all. I went down to my doctor, Doc Shaky Hands down the cities, went down and saw him, and I said, "Doc, I keep getting up and looking in the mirror and don't like what I see." And he examined me and said, "Well, I can tell you this, I don't know what's wrong with you, but your eyesight is perfect." This week, Matt had a couple basketball games, so my stepmother. I don't have a stepmother. My mother's dead. Yeah. My mother-in-law, gee, I only had one, too. Maybe I need a chaser. My mother-in-law came up, and Matt had 2 basketball games this week, so she was here for goody 4 days. And I shouldn't say anything bad about my mother-in-law, because after all, she is attached to a machine that keeps her alive. Yeah, the refrigerator in the kitchen. I said to my wife, I said, your mother's coming up here so much, maybe we should go get a home improvement loan. And my wife said, here's $1,000. Get out of the house. But it was such a beautiful day today, and it feels like spring, and I started thinking about my wife, so I called her up, and I said, "Honey, I've been thinking about you, and I'm getting a little excited. When are you going to come home?" And she said, "Who is this?" So let's get on to the show. We're going to talk about Burt Reynolds tonight. Everybody likes Burt. Who doesn't like Burt? All the great movies he was in, all the great TV shows, and of course he started out on Gunsmoke, which when I was growing up, my grandfather never missed an episode. And I'm not making this up. He saw every episode of Gunsmoke that was ever made. He watched it every night when it was on. And I'm trying to think, was that Monday night it was on, or was it Saturday night? At any rate, for the whole 25 years, he never missed one episode because his first name was Matt, and Matt Dillon. He had this connection. Plus, Matt Dillon he actually knew the family because Matt Dillon was from St. Paul. See? And so, yeah, he watched every episode for that full 25 years. So Burt Reynolds played a half-breed on that called Quint. I can't think of his last name now. At any rate, as a result, one of the early movies he did was called Navajo Joe, where he played he wasn't a half-breed. He was a Navajo Indian, I think. Hence the name. And I got a picture here that Jack printed out. You know, Jack, you did this after you got back from the VFW last night, didn't you? My God. Any rate, got a picture here. His hair is very interesting. It's interesting to say the least. It doesn't even look like Burt, Jack. You sure this is Burt? Any rate, he killed a total of 46 people in that movie, and mostly with this gun right here, although he used a knife and a hatchet and a lot of people. He had a big kill count in that movie for 1966. And in the picture here, he's holding his weapon of choice in that movie, which was a Winchester 92. Yeah. There you go. There. Try to get rid of the reflection. Yeah. So, I got out my 92. Can talk about it. My Rossi Winchester 92 clone or reproduction made by Rossi, and this is one of the old Rossis, the ones that were imported by Inner Arms years ago that didn't have any safety on it, and just a fantastic little gun. In 357 Magnum, of course, it'll also shoot 38s, feeds flawlessly with both. And look at that. For all those years, it's got to be like 30 years old. Doesn't it look good? I think it really does. It's got a little bit of a... I lost a little bit of the stock here. There we go. I got a little chip on the stock out of there. But other than that, very nice, huh? Yeah. I had to refinish the stock after that little incident. Jack, did you want to tell them about what you did? No, you don't want to talk about that incident, do you? Any rate, so, fantastic gun. What a fantastic gun. And if you've got yourself a Smith & Wesson K-frame in 357, or you got yourself a GP100, or maybe, like me, a Security 6, what a great combo, huh? You can't beat that, a pistol and rifle to go together. And of course, you get a little bit more oomph out of that 357 Magnum. Coming on a longer barrel, it actually is almost rivaling a rifle caliber. Not quite, but yeah, it's getting up there. It's getting close. Almost. Makes an awful nice little gun. And it is. It is so... This actually would be an awful nice home defense weapon, really. Firearm. Excuse me. Never say weapon. Yeah, and this is something that I was taught, and apparently... Maybe it's the Knob Creek in me, but yeah, you never call your firearms weapons because they aren't weapons. They're tools. They're firearms. They're sidearms. They're rifles, and a weapon is those big, huge guns they have on ships. Those are weapons, or ballistic missiles are weapons. These are tools. Because you're not using this as a weapon. Basically, you're using this for sporting purposes. You're using it maybe for deer hunting. You make a nice deer hunting rifle. At least up here where there's lots of woods. Because I got a lot of woods up here. It just would also work for home defense. It would because it's got a little bit of a shorter barrel. Very maneuverable. And this is what a lot of people don't realize. And I'm gonna show you this real quick. I love this gun. See how maneuverable it is, and you can see where the end of the barrel is right here, right? Okay, and you're going through your house. You got your trusty sidearm and you're doing the same thing. Look at where we are. We're just like maybe 2 inches shorter than we were with the end of the rifle. You see, it's not any hindrance to use a shotgun or a sidearm going through your house. Yeah, because you're not taking up any more space than you are when you've got that sidearm out there. Just throw that in. It's totally off our topic for the night. So there you have it. That was one of Burt's big first movies in 1966. Navajo Joe. And yeah, that haircut is something else, isn't it? He was obviously growing it out at the time. This moves us on to one firearm that Burt used in several movies. He used it most pointedly in White Lightning, and I don't know if you've seen that movie. If you haven't, there's something wrong with you. That is a great... Now Gator is the sequel to that, and Burt directed that himself, and I kind of think White Lightning's better. I'm sorry, Burt, but the ending in Gator was a bit reachy for me. But I love Jerry Reed in that movie with that sawed-off double-barrel shotgun. Remember that? Yeah, that's a classic. But in White Lightning, he used one of these. And he also used one of these in So White Lightning was what, 1973? He used one of these. I'm sure he used it several times in between. But then later in his career, in the last few years, yeah, like in the last 6 years, he used it in a TV series he was on. And I got a picture of that. And that item, we'll talk about the item first. It's a double-barreled shotgun. Sure. And, of course, Jerry Reed had one in Gator that was... It was just a pistol grip. The stock had been cut down to a pistol grip, and the barrel was cut down to about like that. And he carried it in his pants. Driving around in that Ford Thunderbird, or it was a Continental, either one. The two-door was like Mark IV. When I was growing up, my dad had one of those with the moonroof on the top. Yeah, well, you had to be around back then. Anyway, got a picture here. This is the later production. This isn't from White Lightning. This is from the later production and the television series where he used it. And that was in, yeah, one of my favorite shows, Archer. And there he is, Burt, with his double-barreled shotgun. And doesn't Burt look good? I mean, at that point, he was probably about 77 or 78 when he made this. And he looks absolutely fantastic there. Of course, you know, you're wearing a tux. You always look better when you're wearing your tux. And Archer, of course, he's in his tactical turtleneck. And I'm trying to figure out what this is. Kind of looks like it's an underfolder AK to me that he's carrying in his other hand, but I don't know. Side folder AK, maybe? Maybe that's what it is, a side folder AK. But that's definitely, once again, the double-barreled shotgun. And so for that, I got out my Russian double-barrel. I love this 12-gauge shotgun. What a nice little shotgun. Absolutely fantastic. And, of course, you only have 2 shots, but, wow, 2 shots from that will probably get the job done. Because if it doesn't, you got real problems, probably. But that's what your sidearm's for. Love this little shotgun. This is like one of the greatest things I've ever gotten because I walked into the gun shop and they had this thing on sale for $199 and I just couldn't resist. And boy, am I glad I got it. This has become one of my most used favorite shotguns. It is my most used favorite shotgun now. Of course, I had my Rossi's. I've had several Rossi double barrel hammer guns that I used for years that I really like. Even had a mount for it in the old Cadillac limousine. In the front seat there was a mount for that baby. But this is an absolute fantastic, fantastic little shotgun. I am so happy I got it. So well made, too. So, that was, and I'm sure he used that in a lot of movies over the years. One movie that was interesting, and I hate to say this, being Burt's birthday party and everything, but it was kind of a cheesy movie, and that's called City Heat, I think it was, with Clint Eastwood. Yeah, Clint was in that. And it was a good movie till the end where they had that final shootout, and he and Clint kept going back and forth, pulling out bigger guns, and Burt starts out with a Colt Police Positive. And then he goes to, I'm trying to think about he ends up with a Luger with a really long barrel on it. They kept going back and forth with longer barrels on the handguns they pulled out. It was a little joke or something. See, I think they went wrong with that movie there, is it got too comical and wasn't believable anymore, and they ruined the movie. That's what I think, but what do I know? I've never made a movie, so I'm not one to criticize. And of course, later in his career, he was in a TV show that was produced by Tom Selleck. And I don't know if I ever told that story where I met Tom Selleck. He was down at Gunsight the same time I was, taking private tutorials. That's a great story. But I won't tell that because that'll ruin it for Burt. This is all about Burt, not Tom Selleck. But Tom Selleck produced that show that he was in, and it was one of my favorite shows too. BL Stryker. I can remember that, thinking when my schedule worked that I could actually get home and see BL Stryker I think it was on Saturday night. I was very excited because I really liked that show. Because if you've watched my program at all, you know I used to collect Cadillacs, and he drove a 1959. Or what was it, a 1959? Yeah, it was 1959 convertible, Cadillac convertible in original condition. That was, it was rough, but cool car, and I really liked that show. BL Stryker, and of course BL Stryker always carried his little snubby detectives model, and I always thought it was a Colt detectives model, and Jack and I were arguing about this last night, and I think Jack's right. He says, no, I'm wrong. It's not a Colt detectives model. It's a Smith & Wesson J-frame, Model 36. Of course, there's a picture of it, and it kind of looks like that on the grip. That Jack's right. Jack printed out this picture from an episode where they were bodyguarding a little girl, and this is in the supposedly in the depot, train depot, and here he's got his gun out, and I look at it in this picture, and I think Jack's right. I think it is a Smith & Wesson J-frame there. There he is as BL Stryker, and I think Jack's right. And that was part of the gimmick, if you want to put it that way, of the BL Stryker character. Is you're at this transitional time and everybody else had automatics, and he was hanging on to his old detective's special. And it was shot placement with him, and he didn't need a lot of shots to get the job done. That was kind of the gimmick with that. And one episode of that show was Burt's birthday, and that's why I got this and thought this one was important over other things. It was Burt's birthday, and his secretary gave him a gun in a presentation case for his birthday, and it was some type of Colt single action Army clone with 2 cylinders. And Jack got this picture off of the thing for me. It was kind of interesting in the episode because end of the episode he has to save his ex-wife and Oz and shoot the bad guy, which was Ricardo Montalban. Yeah, the Wrath of God. He has to shoot him up on the roof, and he has this gun is what of course he had a little like SWAT uniform on with Velcro, and he had what I think was 2 Smith & Wesson 5900, because I used to have that gun, a 9mm, in that same time period. Unfortunately, I had to use that gun. I hated that gun. Hated that gun. Hated that gun. But anyway, he had 2 of those Velcro to his chest. And this gun, he'd gotten just hours before from his secretary. All of a sudden, he had this gun up there with a scope mounted to it. And then after he shoots Ricardo Montalban, just minutes later, he has that gun stuck in his waistband and the scope's gone. Only in Hollywood. And then I'll leave you with this, the last thing. The last gun I want to talk about tonight, and I'm sure Burt used in a lot of movies, but this is the gun he carried in the movie. I know I'm picking some of his, well, I won't say worst, that's not polite, but least appreciated movies would be Rent-A-Cop with Liza Minnelli. He had a 1911 in that movie. And I got out my SIG 1911, which I really do enjoy this gun with the external extractor, excuse me, external extractor. It just works flawlessly. Out of all the 1911s I've owned in my life, this has been the most reliable. We'll put it that way. I love this gun. Of course, it's got the SIG night sights on it, 8-round magazine, stainless steel with some of the components being carbon steel that have been nickel plated. I don't know why they do that, but yeah, you can see that there. But just a fantastic gun. A fantastic gun. And I think back of the SIGs I've had, not very many. Matter of fact, I've had 4 SIGs in my life. I'm trying to think of the first one's like a 230, I'm thinking. For years there, I used to carry as a secondary gun, backup gun, the 380, that 380 SIG. Just a beautiful gun. It's pretty much similar to a PPK, only much better because you don't get slide bite from that thing because it had decent tang on it. That was a great gun. Used to carry a cross draw. Love that gun. 226, I used that for a while. And, of course, my West German 220 and this. Every one of the guns never had a problem. Flawless, beautiful guns. Just throw that out there if you're thinking about a SIG. That's my experience with them. Well, there you go, guys. That's my tribute to Burt. I don't think I missed anything. Did I miss anything, Jack? No, I don't think I did. There you go. All we got left to do for Burt here is I had a little drawing going on his birthday. And then in my the next video, I also, the day after, you could still get in on it. And I got the names in here, and this is what we're drawing for. At 27 minutes and 10 seconds of your life, you'll never get back again. And I'm sorry for that, but we're giving away Jack's picture of Burt and Dom DeLuise from Cannonball Run. Da-da-da-da! Captain Chaos. Yeah, I love that movie. I love both those movies, 1 and 2. We're giving away this nice hat with the American flag on the front. It's a Voodoo Tactical. Very nice hat. And of course, this is why Coda Boy 32 didn't even participate in this. Because we're giving away this nice Glock mug. Tumbler. I keep calling it a mug. It is a tumbler. Glock tumbler. There you go. There's our Burt Reynolds package for the winner. Let's draw the name out and see who the lucky winner is. Before we do, I just have a sip. I'm getting parched. Yeah, it's better. Okay, ready? Here we go, guys. The winner is Robin Jones. Robin Jones. Yeah, Robin Jones. Robin Jones, you, my dear, are the winner. Yeah. And one last thing before Jack and I leave you, now that we've eaten up 28 minutes and 40 seconds of your Friday evening, you'll never, ever, ever get back again. I'm having a contest right now. It's called the American Gunfighter 5,000 sub giveaway, where you can win a $350 gift certificate to Brownells. And interestingly enough, the other day, Brownells had a Smith & Wesson Shield on sale for $2.99. So you see what you might be able to buy if you win this. And we're getting closer there, guys. If I keep going at the rate I've been going, within, I would say, 4 weeks, we're going to have a winner. So you better get in on this while you can, because we're going to be drawing shortly. We're over 3,000 subs. We're not far away. And this is the deal. All you got to do tonight to get in the contest is, number 1, you have to be a subscriber. Yeah, you got to subscribe, or how do I get to the 5,000 subs? Number 2 is like this video. And number 3, all you got to do is in the comments section down below, just type in the name of the Snowman's dog. That's it. That easy. Before I leave you, I want to thank you for subbing. Thanks for watching my show. And, of course, Mr. Reynolds, if you're watching, I hope you had a very, very good birthday. You've brought a lot of enjoyment to me and Jack. We love watching your movies and your TV shows and even the episodes of Archer that you were in. Matter of fact, that's part of our yeah, we love those. Till next time. Is that right, Jack? Jack, what are you spilling that stuff for? Jack, that's how you get ants. Till next time, guys. Go out and stay safe.